The Against All Odds podcast, sponsored by Oak Forest Recovery.
Welcome to the Against All Odds podcast. I am your host, Rachel. We have co-host RJ, and we got Pat Ridge in the building.
Yep.
Welcome. Thanks for coming out. Yeah. On brand. No.
I thought it would be a little bit of a longer intro.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Took my little vape.
Yeah, we're just jumping right in.
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really glad. Is that Mac on your shirt, Mac Miller?
Yeah. The homie.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm really glad to be here. And thank
we're
you for
happy you
having me.
came out.
It's pretty, it's hard. It warms my heart to know that like I have a friend, you know, because a lot of people, I think that, I don't know actually what people think, but it's not like all good,
Right.
I think.
Right.
You've been through some shit.
Or I've heard. Yeah.
You know,
and I
you've
think
been
that
through
when
some
someone's
shit.
in like the spotlight,
Right.
it's gonna come with some judgment.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's, you know.
So thanks for fucking having me, bro.
Well, I don't think we've never really like hung out. We've talked a few times.
No,
we've
yeah.
like,
Yeah, we've spoken over the phone and stuff.
Right.
And
but
ran
we've grown
into
up
me-
in the same fucking
right
area our whole
Are you
lives.
from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's from Agora, right?
I mean, yeah, born and raised Agora.
Yeah.
I'm from Westlake, Oak Park, then lived in Agora. How
Joel
old- how old are you?
40,
Yeah.
42. I just turned 42.
Yeah, and I'm 37, so we were just like a little bit
Yeah.
Just missing each other.
apart, but
Yeah, we missed each other a bit there.
but same stomping grounds.
Yeah.
And we have a
that's
lot of
crazy.
crossover with like different friends and different people.
Yeah, I love this town.
Yeah.
I love this county, should I say?
Yeah.
I was just at the record store right down the street earlier
Yeah.
today. Let's go. The record outlet. It's a real record store, and they're still open, and they like repair my turntables. And I did a cool video on the record outlet. Actually, it's like a really. It's kind of a side. I used to do this thing called Local Legends.
Bro, I was just about to say, I'm like, is this on fucking Local Legends?
Yeah,
I've watched Local Legends.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
So I used to do these little videos on people.
Fucking random creatures that just exist in your hometown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? Like it's the random
Robbie, bro.
creatures.
Robbie, the drummer.
Robbie, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
He plays drums. That was the first one, and I was just like,
Robbie is this guy who
Yeah,
she didn't
so
grow up.
give me
She's
the
like
lore.
from New York.
Yeah, I'm
Robbie's
not
this
from
guy,
here,
like,
so-
you grew up around here. You'd go to the beach on the weekend, and Robbie would be on the side of the road,
Yeah.
playing, fucking
Drumming.
mashing on drums, dude.
with
Robbie's
his
got
shirt
like
off,
one,
with his shirt off, long hair,
Hell
blonde
yeah.
He's
hair.
got like one eye.
Yeah.
He's just like
Is
fucking
he still
out there.
around?
He's gnarly.
I haven't seen him in a little while,
Yeah.
but he'd be out there.
Yeah.
And this dude would, and then there's this other dude. There's a runner who runs around. What's that
David
dude's name?
Simon.
Yeah, David.
Yeah.
He runs.
I mean,
And
this
like
guy-
for fucking 20 years.
Yeah,
This fool,
it's-
you'll see him you'll be driving around town, and there he is.
So everyone knows these characters.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So they're sort of famous already. And there was a
But
dude
they're
named-
random. They're
Yeah.
random. They're like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
random like creature. Like you would never know them. You never talk to them. You
Well,
like
well,
you
the
remember when you saw them. You know what I mean?
The whole thing was like learning to lose. Like, okay, these are characters who have been through adversity, clearly.
Right.
Like high levels of it. Like Timmy was another dude who had multiple sclerosis. Timmy, he looked like someone from The Doors. Like the band, like
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the 70s,
Timmy.
like
Yeah.
a rocker
Yeah,
with
yeah.
an older. You remember Timmy?
Yeah.
So the one I did on him will like make me cry every time. It's like so emotional. It's just because he grew up right next to my uncle. My grandma lived right next to Timmy, so I got to go in his house and film. And they're just any character that just is grit. Like these are characters that you would think would end up disgruntled, resentful, angry, but they're not. They're all just happy, and they're like living their best life, even though it's like super counter culture.
Yeah.
Like
Right,
it's
right.
just like
Against the
they're
grain. Just
Right.
so
very,
against the grain.
yeah.
And they're all right here. And I wanted to do a series where people would write me from their towns, and I could go and do
Local legends. Yeah.
you know, but I've
a good
wanted to do
idea.
a lot of different
Yeah.
things. That was the beginning of sort of what became Ridge Production,
Okay.
which is the video. We just shot like Revolve at Coachella.
Oh,
And like,
cool.
yeah, that was like,
Yeah.
that's like a cool, we like film stuff.
Yeah.
So Pat, bring us back, man. Bring us
Yeah,
back. Let's go to
yeah.
the beginning, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
well-
born and raised in Agora, right?
Well, my dad came out here from New York, and he goes like hard. So he has he's an electrician, but when he has companies and they expand quick and he goes bankrupt and then they expand quick. Well, he has a partner and then he has to get a new partner. And I mean, there's always, I've just watched my dad. So he came out here from New York and he had me and my brother, him and my mom had me and my brother on Chesbro. It's like this is a trail, like people come from all over the world to ride this bike trail. It's incredible. Chesbro. And we're, we got an acre and a horse and it was like amazing. It was what was, gearing up to be like an amazing life. And then he worked too much. He's an addict, just like me, but he just worked all the time. And my mom was like, dude, kind of like my wife. That's sort of partly why I just went to Florida. Like my wife was like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
But I only know how to do we only can sort of do what our parents showed us, not what they told us, not what they taught us, what they showed us. So my dad worked all the time and my mom ended up, having an affair and just going out a lot, and they just would fight like a lot. And I heard it a lot, and I just remember like, I'm doing therapy now. Like I've new therapy. I should say I'm seeing a new therapist now, but I've seen a different dude for 20 years. But since I went to Florida, I'm seeing a new therapist and we're talking a lot about like childhood trauma. And it almost sounds corny to talk about.
I think most of our shit stems from childhood in some way, right?
Dude, that's the bullseye.
Right.
I mean, that's the root. That's like everything. And I don't know. I just learned a lot. And just like, I would love to be able to implement that more, but it's hard. I just feel like we're, let me just get back to so they end up getting divorced and then everything sort of falls apart from there because the ground was pulled out from under me and my brother. And
how old were you?
What grade what's third grade?
Like
7, 8.
So 8. So my 8-year-old child is sort of that's when it happened, So that was sort of, I was like drawn with my left hand and just some of to parallel like my
your inner child
upbringing with like what I just sort of like went through in Florida. Like, my dad ended up having to move out and he ended up just moving down the street. Like he rented a room from a woman. So like so he would see the boyfriend, my mom's boyfriend there. And I just felt his pain and he always would talk about it with me and my brother. Like, one night he came into our room and was like, he woke us up crying and he punched a hole in the wall and he was like, we're getting a divorce, your mother cheated. I'm 8.
Right. That's a lot to put on a kid.
When I look back on this shit, it's like, I didn't have it wasn't clear that we had like a rough upbringing compared to like fucking Wu-Tang or whatever.
Right.
But like the shit that went down was gnarly in its own way. Like I ended up walking in on my mom with the guy and that was super traumatic for me at the time. Like I'm in 5th grade. So they get divorced around 4th. And then all this like crazy traumatic shit happens, which is just like parents not knowing how to shield their kids and also putting their feelings before their children's feelings. So we were in the middle of all of it. Like my dad was like, yo, if you can get her to sign this child support deal, I'll give you $1,000. Like I'm 8, bro.
Right.
I'm 9.
Right.
So we're right in the middle. And I think that's partly why I gravitated towards this field, like helping people with the sober living, is because like, I've always done that. It's because I feel like my dad always expected me to be the fixer. And it's sort like if I see 2 people that are like beefing, like I'm like, yo, let's work it out. And I'll insert myself right into the middle of it. And sometimes that backfires on me. But I have a lot of good people in my life because but yeah, so I start fucking, stealing and smoking and just doing dumb shit kids do after their parents get divorced. And I found Vicodin when I was on this girl I had a crush on gave me a Vicodin
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help.
Just to fast forward real quick, that was when I had arrived. Like how they say it. This girl, I also had a crush on her, so it was like the best day of my life because I'm on the bus and then I got to sit next to her and she kind of had a crush on me too. Like, and it was just like, that feeling. Mm-hmm. This is just all I want forever. You know.
Right. How old were you at this point?
That was Invasion. You remember
Invasion.
those snowboarding?
Shut the fuck up, dude.
So it was on one of those trips.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
We saw AFI, bro. It was like, where was it? I think Colorado or who cares? Somewhere dope. And we saw AFI.
That was back in the days when Invasion was like sick.
Yo, AFI. I mean, this was way before they were. Okay, so this was... If you knew who AFI was at this time, it was like you were a punk rock. Mm-hmm. You knew about punk rock. They weren't big yet. And I remember he was like little with, he almost looked like an anime character. It was the rat. I mean, literally thinking back on this, going to AFI, first discovering Viking, that one weekend, it just seems unreal to even think that.
Invasion was this thing where like they would take
a bus.
And like a bunch of high school kids that would sign up and pay for it to these different trips.
Oh,
yeah,
and like when I was going, like
and then we all had like a room.
Oh, nice.
It was insane.
There's like 100, 200
all
high
your
school
homies.
kids.
Yeah, they don't do shit like that these days, right?
I don't know. Who's they?
They, the children.
Yeah, like
the children.
I don't know. Maybe
it was just a different time, man.
Yeah,
it was just a different time.
I don't think they do stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, so I honestly can't even remember like which Invasion it was, or did it all happen at that one? Because she ended up like stealing a bunch of beer, or someone stole. It was me that had the beer. I had like a bunch of beer in my bag, and we were getting it on, you know. That was the beginning of it. Which, what would I say? Like, so it was sixth. What's sixth grade?
It's probably ninth grade.
It was ninth grade.
Yeah,
ninth grade.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really 13,
we're in
14.
ninth grade.
High school.
We're getting ready to drive, you know, and I'm like smoking a lot of weed. That's just all day, every day since fifth or about like middle school, like the end of middle school. Really, I think all of it kind of started in high school. The ninth grade. And then, I'm selling a little here and there, getting good grades. Like I got like, I graduated like a 3.4.
Really?
I know it's crazy because I like really cared about that. And I've always tried hard. I mean, towards the end, it was a lot of cheating and shit. But
I tried really hard. There was a lot of cheating.
Well, only like towards the end, really, when the drug use took over and I was like selling. And then I was also making like, I started making music. I always was into music. I was always in like a band. Always. Like it's crazy to think. Yeah. I made like I think we made like 1,000 tapes in ninth grade.
Wow.
Birdseed was the name of the band, and we went to get it recorded for real.
Yeah.
And we handed these tapes out, and then it was 610. We made CDs, and then it was Therapist and Delusion. Delusion, it was a band that I was in with Jason Evigan, who's like a huge songwriter. He did all the Rufus the Soul and like a bunch of Maroon 5. And I mean, this guy's like, he's like my best friend. And we were in like this band together in high school. I was in like a lot of bands. And then during all this time, I'm like, so I'm using a lot that the using accelerates to Oxy and Norco. I'm taking 5 Norcos, at a time, or 4 at a time, like 2 or 3 or 4 times a day.
Right.
I don't know. It just varied.
Did you realize that opiates made you physically dependent yet, or no? Like when you started, did you know?
I don't, the thing, it's kind of interesting. I never really had like any crazy withdrawals.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Maybe because I got sober when I was 21.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have like that long of a using career. It just hit Xanax, Wild Turkey, Oxy, plus my brain, punk rock, fuck everyone, just go hard. I had dreadlocks. It was gnarly. I was gnarly. I wish there was someone here that could like explain what that would look like.
Yeah.
I have videos online a little bit. I shaved my eyebrows.
Were you recording stuff back then?
Oh yeah.
You were filming things from
that's
like...
the other thing, dude. Like, I don't know if this like gives me a little bit of a pass at all.
Yeah,
like,
filming your shit
Filming
today.
your
That's
life.
not new. You've been doing that since high school.
Dog. Like I have no, but really, my dad filmed me. That's the thing. That's the trip that I'm tripping on in therapy is that I would like break the window and he would go to your room, and then he would set the tripod up, and I would come out and he'd be like, "Stop," and I'd be like, and he'd be like, "What did you do?" And I'd be like, Brian, I started trying to blame my brother. It's great. It's really funny. I mean, we think it's fun. If you saw it, you'd laugh, but like, it's not the shit you don't film that.
Right.
You don't film a little kid. So in a lot of ways, the way I connect is through filming people.
So that transfers.
That's how I connect to you. I don't know what it is.
That's wild.
So I've always filmed everything, and I have the JVC handy cam. I still have it, if he brought the back, it's in the backpack right now. Like, this is 25-year-old camera. I don't know how it still works. Well, I bought a few others on eBay, but the original one still somehow works, and the high 8 tapes. And so I've always filmed stuff, and I started editing stuff for like the music videos, trying to make music videos from the punk. I was in a punk band called Therapist, and Dane passed away, but he wrote this Learning to Lose song. That's the kid who sort of left this song behind, which then became this brand, pretty much the smallest brand in the world, called Learning to Lose. No, it's like, it's been my brand for a while.
It's a great brand, man.
Yeah, I love it. And I believe in it, and I think it's amazing, but I just haven't really had any like time we just got on the TikTok shop. That's kind of cool. That was a fucking nightmare. We had to give them everything from fucking a birth certificate to like tax documents to a seller's license. It was like, what the fuck, bro? So but it just got really bad really quick, and then I ended up at Liberty House.
Okay.
I mean, it got.
And how did you end up at Liberty House?
Was
there like an intervention?
No, this is a crazy story, honestly. Like, I have so many. I didn't even tell you about my body cast or
body cast.
Yeah. So
Hold
while
on.
while I'm growing up, some of this stuff I referred to like having a lot of trauma. A lot of it had to do with my health. I was in a body cast. I had this disease called leg Perthes, and my hip bone kind of came out of the socket.
Oh my god!
So they have to put it back in and put pins in my leg.
Oh my god!
So I had to I don't know if you want to adjust this. So I'm in a body cast with a bar here.
Between your legs. Literally.
Yeah. So there's a bar here, bro, and it goes up to here. My hamster got like lost in it.
What?
That was a nightmare.
Oh my God.
So I'm living like that. And then when I get out of the body cast, I get put in these braces. So I can walk, but it's like this.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
For how long?
Well, the body cast was like for like a couple months. But the thing is that when they took it off, I thought I was going to not have another cast on. But what happened was they gave me this surgery and they put another cast on me. So I woke up and I had another body cast on.
Oh my God.
And that was so traumatic because my dad didn't really want to tell me. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, because they knew you were not going to be cool with it.
I had it with the cast. So I don't know I don't know if I would have been cool with it or if they could have talked to me, but I was 8.
Yeah.
Fuck. And then so my brother would have to like kind of wheel me to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And the girl I had the crush on. It was like, so from that point on, I changed into sort of a person who is like, I don't know, the normal almost like upsets me. I mean, or it had.
Yeah.
So I was just opposed, like.
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help.
Yeah, that did something to me. It made me relate to people who like the local legends. Like this is why I'm like gravitate towards these types of people.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love the
oddities.
unfortunate
Yeah.
and the odd and the weird and like, just, you know, I think that those are people that are just sort of like expressing their art unknowingly. Like they're like, they're like art to me in a world of like boring drones. You know? Like they like stand out and they're like not living by the normal. But yeah, those people also probably need help.
Yeah.
And the reason they're in the situation they're in is because of a lot of like hard times or trauma, and that's
so you relate to them.
Usually what I'm trying to talk about in those videos. Like, what's up, bro? Like, what really like with this one? Have you ever met that guy Grant Chang, who the Asian kid who rides around on his bike and he has this like crazy like. Dude, this dude was like almost gnarlier than any of them. And I like went into his house and filmed him talk about his dad like abusing him, and it was just so heavy. And I'm just like, I'm so like proud of that work because all of those people had never had anyone that
notice them in that way
about anything that they were talking about.
Right.
And we come in with like a red and lights. Like I fucking put a fog machine in this dude's room with some red lights behind him and did the interview with Grant Chang, this guy who like people just,
That's so sick.
it was insane, right?
It was
like, it was like, so yeah, that was traumatic with the leg perthes. And then I had my appendix exploded inside of me. I almost died. And then I had like crazy poison ivy. That was like the first time I took acid. I got poison oak.
Did you go rolling some
Like,
bushes or what?
Yo, yeah. Well, I was, you know, don't go over there. And I'm just going over there.
Yeah.
You know, it was just, we were on a hike.
dude.
You know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I like, I try to cover like.
No.
I'm trying
Yeah,
not
no,
to
you're
like
good.
get stuck on any one
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
you
you're
kind
good,
of
man. You're
move
good.
on. But,
You can
but so much happens, right?
Yeah.
Right.
In our using from like when we start to where we finally end up getting sober. You asked, how did I end up at Liberty House? And the story is really actually incredible. Like I had a seizure while DJing at the Roxy. Like a minor, I don't know what it was because I didn't fall to the ground, but I was definitely doing that.
Yeah.
And it was like scary. And the bouncer who kind of knew me, because at the time, I was at the Roxy a lot because we had I was in this band called Delusion that we got a development deal with Epic Records through Jack Osborne. So when the Osborne show was like happening, like we were Jack Osborne's band. And that's a whole nother like crazy, really cool story, how we're like on the Osborne soundtrack and just how our life and I'm taking Oxy while Jack's taking Oxy and neither of us are telling each other. Yeah. And then years later I see him at a meeting and I'm like, dog, what's up? But yeah, that was kind of a cool little thing that happened before my deal with Hypercrush, which comes after I get sober with the record label. I mean, I like did a whole, you guys know I was in this band and like we toured.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like all I did for 10 years.
Yeah.
Give me back to Liberty House. How did you get into
so I had the seizure, right? And I'm like not doing good, bro. I'm DJing, I'm trying to hold it together. I think the seizure was sort of a sign from God. Like, bro, what the fuck? So I go downstairs and I run into Caitlin McInerney. Her brother's running Liberty House. And she goes, how you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing good. And I don't really know if I even want to be here. Like I just told her She wasn't really particularly close to me. I just told her the truth. And then she said, my brother's like managing Liberty House. He changed his life. He's sober now. And her brother was always a cool dude that I just was attracted to. He was older. He was a graffiti artist and he could skate better than anyone. So I called. I think I told my mom. I think I just called my mom and I was like, you know what, Mom? There's a place that I know one of my friends, someone I know went there and is working there now. And I think she called. And then this dude called me every day. This is the trip about how I don't know if we're probably not going to get into that, but.
Get into what?
Just like the inner workings of like this industry or whatever. But like all I'm saying, and I kind of tell my people this too, is like, this dude called me every day for like 2 weeks and he got to know me and I trusted him. And I was like, because he was at Liberty House, he was someone in the house and he's now helping someone outside. It's like the way that the model for sober living 20 years ago when I went to Liberty House, it was so radical. I loved it so much. And I think it's like such a good, like the Salvation Army thing. Like you work there when you got to learn to like move up the ranks. And now you're a trusted senior or staff or someone. But yeah, I just told her that. And he started calling me. And then I finally was like, I'm living with Veronica, who's now my wife. I do not suggest it. I think if you get sober, like, chill for a year. You know what I mean? Like,
how soon did you start dating her after?
Oh, I was with her. Like she drove
through the whole time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So right now, Veronica's, my parents have kicked me out. I don't have anything really. I'm just mooching off of her.
Right.
And I'm like, I just told her, you know, let's this house. And I start talking to the guy and I end up at Liberty House. I end up at the sober living because, you know, I was tired of stealing from her. I stole from her. I mean, not like a lot, like I think like 1 or 2 times, but still like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like living in her room. The music stuff was like, just, you know, people didn't really want to have anything to do with me. I was like drooling, trying to like mix a record with like, there were times where we had like people from like, I don't know how. Don't ask me how this happened. I knew a guy, but we had like members of Wu-Tang, which at the time for me was like crazy. Like Shaheem or 12 O'Clock, Old Dirty Bastard's brother. It was like affiliates who are gnarly dudes and they're fucking serious, but they get high all the time, but they're like serious. And I'm like some like white kid from the suburbs who's like, I rolled up my window on Prodigal Son's hand one time. I was like drooling while recording with Shaheem. It's just crazy that like I made such a fool of myself in front of people who I like idolize so much. It's like crazy that I would even have that opportunity at the time. But yeah, so I get sober. I go to Liberty House and what I see is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. It's people and the accountability is like through the roof. And if anyone in the house is like not acting right, like it's going to come up. And it was an all men's house and it was before IOPs. So people were in the house together all day and they were like, that was like intoxicating to me. And I wasn't even able to stay at Liberty House. They like told me that I had to leave because neither of my parents wanted to pay. And they were fighting at family group and it was super embarrassing. My parents never ended up settling this divorce. It was 30 years until they finally settled.
Oh my God.
It's the most brutal.
And they're probably fighting throughout that whole time.
Yeah. And putting me right in the middle, like right in the middle, like, you know, so that's a whole nother podcast, but you know, I mean, when it comes to your child and you're going to make a decision, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to fight about this?
Yeah.
And then let him come home? Like, thank God I had the reaction. I don't think everyone has the same reaction to sober living. Maybe some people are scared and they don't like embrace the communal that scares them.
Yeah.
But for me, I want to stand up in the front
Right.
and talk and I want to be on the stage with the spotlight on me. So I liked what they were doing because if you were speaking, everyone in this whole house was listening to you and you knew that you mattered.
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help. Right.
Even just for that moment, it's like really. So in the back of my head, I'm always thinking I want to do this. So yeah, 20 years later, here we are. I'm trying to do that, but
Okay, but
that's
you
what
get
kept
you
me
get
sober.
sober,
Yeah.
and you go home, and then
I'm
you
like
start-
going to the meetings. I'm like driving to Santa Monica because that's where Liberty House was.
Were you
Every-
friends with JD back then?
Oh yeah.
Was JD sober?
Oh yeah. Or wait, no, he was just getting sober. So I don't know.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, his path was not the same as mine. But look, Liberty House scared me so much. It's so serious. These fools are talking about who left a fucking cup out for 5 hours. And I'm like, I get it. I'm like, yeah. Someone's not being honest. Like, it doesn't matter about the cup. So me, like, I just loved it. So I wanted to come back. I wanted to be friends with the graduates. I wanted to be friends with family.
You felt like you found your community.
Yeah. Or I mean, look, I didn't even spend enough time to become, I guess I kind of did. But like, I think that
How long were you there?
wanted to be.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be my community.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like my story is I'm such an outlier that I can't, I don't suggest this. And like I said earlier, the only reason that I left was because there was I didn't have the option to stay,
Yeah.
but I had already made the decision. I want to do this. Cause most people, if it's that structured, maybe I don't want to do, let me try. This was my first real shot. You know, I didn't really, but I wanted to do it. I liked it. Like I said, but I was only there for a month, bro, like less. Like I was
So then what happens when you go home? You start going to meetings. You start like, how does Pat stay sober?
I have a sponsor and I'm going to meetings every day. And that's like, I had the luxury to like, I just went back to the room at my dad's house he married this woman and they have this like really big house. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stay sober. That's it. That's the only thing that matters, you know? And if I could, I would be in that house. But since I can't, I'm going to drive there every day. I'm going to do whatever it takes to become friends of family, which meant I had to attend a meeting I just became as enmeshed with that community as I could. I ended up going to Big Bear with them and they tried to jump me back in the house. See, that was one time where I was like, I had already been sober 90 days outside of the house, and I go on this camping trip with them, and the whole house is like, yo, why don't you just come in and be a resident? And I was like, that's where it's
you'd already been out.
I'm out. I'm like, I'm cruising. I'm doing the meetings. I'm starting to build the band back up. And the band, like, we got the band going, and that was like, it worked.
And that was Hyper Crush.
Yeah, it like worked. Like we got the record deal. Like it happened. Like I got sober. I went hard. I cross addicted, really. I don't suggest this. I think it's better to have some balance and have complete faith in God rather than, like, I really was a chicken with his head cut off, like during the Hyper Crush.
Right.
So you channeled all your energy there.
It was like not good. You know what I mean? But we achieved a lot.
What was that like?
Well, like I'm just
like walk me through the Hyper Crush. Were you the only sober person?
Yeah.
Got it.
That's
what was that
the
like?
Crazy part.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Was it hard for you or
no? It's once you know, you know.
Yeah.
I never really. I just know. I'm not. It's not even like there's just no way I'm drinking. It's just. But plus, I never really like to drink anyways because I have acid reflux. It's another thing. I'm pretty healthy. I've been through a lot of shit like when I was younger, but like I'm pretty blessed that none of that stuff
affected you now.
you know, I said something and it sort of sounded like it was just like, oh, there's another ailment, like another sickness. Because I've listed them all, but like there's a lot of years of me not being sick.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
It's just fucking past just falling apart, dude.
yeah, I'll fall apart. Yeah, right in front of anyone. But I'm not. I'm good.
Yeah. How long did Hypercrush go for?
So we're like on MySpace 10 years, 10 solid years, where we were all on salary, traveling a lot, got a big advance from the label. And we made merch and we toured with Lady Gaga.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, actually that was pretty devastating because our manager dropped us in Germany because she didn't want him managing us. Clearly, it's the only way to cut it. And it was like we had just gone through another manager. Once you get a label deal, you don't want to like switch managers.
Yeah.
Like, especially not before you put the album out. And it was just for him to drop us after. So now we have to find another manager. It was fucked up, and it like she cried, and but like we kind of had a few pretty unlucky breaks like that one. You know, like Troy didn't tell Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He didn't tell her. He met that he was going to manage us. He was her manager.
Yeah.
And you know Troy Carter? He was on Shark Tank. You ever watch that? Yeah. He was like a appearance on Shark Tank. This right there, that meant he was bald. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
But he's a bald guy on Shark Tank. And whatever, dude. That was yeah, she didn't know.
And so what, that created a problem?
Well, she met us and I was like, yeah, like, you know, we're part of the same family. Like now we're going to start doing stuff together. And I said something about Troy and she's like, my Troy? And that didn't really mean a whole lot to me until the next day where I can no longer represent you because we don't think whatever.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean, dude? You were just last week. You're talking about we're the next Black Eyed Peas, but younger and cooler, and like you want. It was just like,
damn.
Yeah. So then we had to finish the tour with her, bro. So
yeah,
and she's just blowing up, bro. I've learned so many lessons in humility in my like experience because the same thing, well, not the same thing, but a similar thing happened with LMFAO, which they have the biggest song at Interscope. That's I just ran into Foo the other day.
Yeah, that
party rock anthem song, it's the biggest song at it broke so many records, and these guys were like we really did a lot for them in the beginning. Like part of the reason they even started doing what they did was because they saw us performing at LAX and we were doing residencies. We started doing residencies in LA once I started it's like I'm going to give you like this sort of like short abridged version, if that's cool.
Yeah.
So like me and Steve, we start a group. It's like a rap group called War Machine, and it's fucking hardcore and it's anti-government and satanic and just fuck everything. And the lyrics were just so, it's like, you know, like, I don't know if you know, just old, like Jedi mind tricks or like, Ill Bill or like these East Coast Necro or these gnarly rappers. We were into that. And then as a joke, we made like a doo-wop song, and I was like a greaser with like this pack of smokes like that, and he was like a Soch with like a Letterman jacket on, and we started to embody this like, you know, doo-wop, like the doo-wop with the fucking at the diner with the burger and the pinup girl and the whole thing. We just did that as like a joke at a show one time, and it was like so much funner. And it was like, yo, we need to like maybe just do this. And then we got a girl who ended up marrying him, which is a whole nother crazy thing because they weren't together. This was like my friend, and now we're in a band together. And it's not hardcore. It's like it's slowly turning into like an electronic Nintendo sort of like trying to embody our our youth, you know, like the Nintendo. Like we had a Power Glove that like lit up and shit. It was so dope. We had like lasers, and I had a keytar, and it was like a whole thing, and it was a lot of fun. And I experienced like levels of joy and excitement that I just wish that like I could translate. Like you can do this stuff sober.
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help.
I mean, really, it can be better. The problem is that I still had a lot of ego. You know?
Had you worked the steps?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I'd take someone through the steps too.
Right.
I've actually taken someone through the full 12 steps. I mean, that's like not a lot of sponsor. I mean, it takes a while. At least for me, it took working with a lot of different people before someone
To get somebody
to get someone all the way through. 100%.
So I've gotten a few people through all 12, and that right there is like, okay, cool. Like, I don't think you finish until you do that. I mean, it's okay if it takes years. At least you're trying and you're working with others. And I'd be on the bus talking to a sponsee, you know, or calling my sponsor pretty much every day, because once they started dating, it was a whole different energy.
Oh, inside the
I don't know
band,
I don't know if you can even imagine that. You have to sort of know what it's like to have a creative collaboration with someone first. Like you guys have that.
Yeah.
Like imagine if there was a third person, and I don't know, but it's more than just like, this was our life. Like every day, all day, like MySpace, number one. We were like number one with Jeffree Star for like a year, alternating us, Jeffree Star, us, Jeffree Star. It's funny that Jeffree Star is like still very much like in my lane. And cause he live streams. I'm not live. Well, I used to live stream and do the TikTok thing more, but like he's just dominate. He's always fucking just.
People love Jeffree.
I like love.
Piss real quick.
Go ahead. I love perfect timing, bro. I don't think he could care less about Jeffree Star. No, I've always been like enamored by like his career. Yeah. You know, and it's unfortunate, like he wanted us to go on tour with him because it was very similar. And I wish that we did. I really wish that we did. I didn't really care, but like at the time, like the rapper was very much like, this is not a part. We're not like that. Like, I'd rather go out with like, sort of like more of like not Kanye, but like something more like that.
Right.
Jeffree is very specific.
A different lane.
He's a very specific, like, but I don't give a shit. I thought it would have been cool. Yeah. You know, because he was like getting really big, and I thought it would have been a cool matchup. Sometimes you have to not be so close to like what you're doing that you like, that you don't let it like grow. Right. I don't know.
Oh no. I feel that 100%. So what happened? So you're number one, you're in between with Jeffree Star and you guys switching. And then what happens from there?
We got to deal with Interscope, or no, I wish we got to deal with Interscope. We fucking got to deal with Motown, Universal Motown. I mean, we get an email one day. Well, we had a deal from MySpace. We had like a few deals on the table because we were buzzing. Yeah. It's weird when you're a part of that. Oh my God. Looking back on that, like, wow. Especially at that time too. Like I almost can't believe it. Well, I kind of do feel like that happened in a small way recently, just right before I went to Florida. I felt it. I woke up, bro, and it was all I saw. It was people posting about me.
Yeah, well, we got to get into that.
While I'm not full on like mania.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like, whew, that was fun times.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No. Yeah, but actually, you know what?
So,
Yeah,
so
I'm
where
lucky.
does Hypercrush go? Because I remember when Hypercrush was a thing.
That's so cool.
I remember you guys played at the Cannon Club too, right? Like I remember the sign. I remember people going to see Hypercrush.
Yeah.
I think I hung out outside just getting stoned and selling weed while you guys were playing at the Cannon Club.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of crazy that I did all that sober. Fuck. Yeah, we got the deal. We started, making more music. They put us in with a bunch of fucking producers, which they shouldn't have done. They didn't fully understand us. Like, we were very different. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of electronic groups. And if there were, they were just DJs. There wasn't really... the electronic movement, music and the movement infiltrated the scene right at that time with DJ AM doing Banana Split every Sunday. DJ AM, everyone from Daft Punk to Busy P would show up at that club every Sunday. And we were there with our fucking little mixtapes with the DeLorean on it. We redid the Back to the Future picture really well. It looked sick. And it was me, Steve, and Holly, and it was the Back to the Future mixtape. And we would pass them out at his club, and then we would do the residency at that same club Saturday nights. We were there every Saturday, and that's where Foo saw us from LMFAO. And then we went and saw there at MySpace, and we're like, these dudes are cool. They're doing this is very similar now. Yeah. Party music, electronic, and these dudes are just super fun. So we're like, come open for us at the residency. We started plugging them every week just because I fucking do that. I fuck with people and I help people. I just want to so then we put them on our top 8. And then we're getting them shows at the Malibu Inn, and we're getting them all there and it's cool. It's all good. I'm glad I did that, but it was really hard to see them become the biggest band in the world. And we don't have really any, we didn't really have, I feel like we should have been with them on the tour. They would have been on tour with us.
Right.
So it was weird, bro. And then now everywhere we go, we hear their shit.
Yeah.
As soon as our set's over, party rock. It was just the biggest song. It was like God was like, yo, I need you to learn this real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to stop chasing the carrot. It's not going to fill you up anyway. Sorry.
No, that was a good one. Listen, come on.
This is the most important thing I will say is I've tasted the carrot. We all want to do something or be something or achieve something, and that's amazing. But the only thing that matters is our connection right now in this moment. And it doesn't really matter if things are working out or if they're not working. It doesn't matter. It's all a part of a plan, and just enjoy your moment. But it didn't matter because we weren't number 1 on iTunes yet.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to fucking enjoy any of it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's how sick my head is.
Yeah.
So when did Hypercrush come to an end?
Well, we did a bunch of remixes in the middle of it. I don't know what's 15 years. I don't really, it was a slow dissipation. And honestly, I have a video in the chamber right now. One that we did 2 years ago where we're businessmen. We're older now and shit. We're in the cubicle. It was it's a dope song. And then he has a bunch of some of the coolest music I've ever heard. Cause along the journey I produced, he learned how to produce in those 10 years. And now he's just he's surpassed me. He was the real artist in the group. So I think every group needs a workhorse and an artist and then something pretty to look at. We had all that and it was working so well. And we were doing everything on our own. We had all our own lights. We bring this is part of the, let me just take a little credit for my ego, in early sobriety, my ego taking a hold and wrecking maybe what was a good situation, the Hypercrush thing. I think I might've pushed too hard in certain areas with the A&R, with the lawyer, sent too many emails, maybe just could have been a little more faith.
Right.
But I hadn't completely surrendered. Like,
asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help.
Like, I know now that I cannot run the show. I can't, like, I can and I do, but like, I'm not, it's like there's something bigger pushing it, and I need to just sort of chill at times and allow that to like,
right.
And to each his own.
Yeah.
That will apply to you in your own way with whatever you're doing. I think a little patience.
Yeah.
I'm not patient.
Yeah. It's hard to be
I mean,
patient.
like I am today, but
Right.
like it's taken a long time.
Right.
And a lot of moments of like pain and humiliation and frustration and trauma. But I do think all those things are the cornerstone to our growth, to our spiritual growth, to our emotional growth. So if you're embarrassed, good. That's fucking amazing. You're going to be stronger for it.
Yeah, you're going to grow.
I've been embarrassed more than anyone I know. Publicly. So I just have this freedom. It's crazy. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't have allowed any of that to happen if I didn't have like a strong connection to God.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, God, let's roll. In a way, I don't want to credit my mania to God, but low key, bro. I was like on a mission from God for a couple weeks there. It was like wild. Or at least I thought I was, but you know, live streaming, CBD with 15, 16, 17 years sober, tolerance going up, slipping into some Delta 9 with live streaming 24 hours a day.
Can we get into that?
Boom,
I want to know what led up.
up.
I don't know the whole situation at all. So but I want to know what led up to the situation.
Well, look, live streaming on TikTok is a fucking nightmare. I don't know what's happening over there, but it's toxic.
Okay.
And people, this is what it is. You get more people in your room if you have like drama.
Yeah.
If you go live with someone and you start questioning them, and like just the other day, this Check the Star guy goes live with me, bro. He's been to Graceland. Oh, where'd Blue go?
He just stepped outside.
Like, and then I go live with him and he's like, yeah, like it's like a cult or what. And I'm like, what are you trying to get a reaction out? Everyone's trying to get a reaction out of someone else.
Yeah.
The people in the comments are trying to get a reaction out of you. They're rage baiting. And then if you go live, some people are cool. A lot of people are cool, but like, I don't know. It's just that like really started to like take off.
Yeah.
Once I sort of aligned myself with these Island Boys and this Nick character who came to my house.
Right.
I don't know how, it's already all over the internet.
Yeah,
right?
let's rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what.
How did you?
I just want to be respectful. And
when did you
just
open
genocide.
Graceland?
I opened Graceland like 4 years ago.
Okay.
2020.
Okay.
5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw you was on TikTok, like filming in the house, and then you had some controversy around that.
Yeah.
You want to get into that at all?
There's a video of the cops showing up.
Right. Looking for some kid or something.
I do want to say that when you get a knock on your door and you look and you see that it's the police and it's in your first year of owning a sober living, you don't pull out your phone.
Yeah.
But I pull out my phone because I've been doing this for so long. And right after the Hypercrush thing, there was the Ridge production thing where I filmed all my friends' weddings, my trips. So I'm just online trying to build my
like
social media
reflex.
presence. Well, I've been trying to work the online shit for fucking 20 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so did you
that's
see
really
it
all
as
I've
like
ever wanted.
did you see it as like, oh, this will be good content?
I already knew.
Okay. So you were like, this is going to go viral. That's why I'm going to film it.
But not only that is that I have so much experience. I'm not going to film, but like, this is how I do it.
Right.
I go like this.
Right.
And then I go like that.
Right.
And then I go
And
like
it's just
this.
natural.
And I'm totally able to the cops I bet they didn't even notice my phone because I was so locked in with them. And I think that's kind of my skill,
Yeah.
if you will. Like my skill
Yeah.
is that I'm able to create a culture, and everyone who's around me is like down with it somehow.
Right.
Well, not somehow, because I've been at it for so long online, and I've been trying to sort of so they come and I just film it and I just fucking post it. That's it.
Yeah.
But I explain in the video what I'm dealing with.
Right.
I got a megaphone for a minute, and that video just it's like a 17 million. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like it's millions everywhere.
Right.
And then there's a bunch of other cop videos, and so yeah, thanks for. I appreciate the haters for calling.
So how did you, after you realized that it caused controversy and haters and everything coming out, how did you deal with that? Like when it first happened?
Oh, I didn't realize that people were gonna like take me so serious, or I didn't realize people were gonna like judge me so harshly.
Yeah.
But like even before Graceland, I start posting stuff with me and my wife, like real stuff, open relationship stuff, fights, financial fight, arguments over real shit that no one would. I don't want to compete with anyone else.
Right.
That's why Hyper Crush was bright neon, and we had the craziest. It was nothing like it, and that was. I don't think I knew the lane was just the vulnerability lane, the transparency lane for real was like wide open. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So that lane was wide open, and people we had a roommate at the time named Oleg, who's Ukrainian. He's really funny, and he was like, why are you posting this? And I'm like, well, it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it just happened. Like,
Yeah.
are we not? Why are we? That's if someone's gonna learn something or feel a little better. But I just want someone to feel a little better sometimes, right? And everything we see makes you feel worse because everyone is bragging at their highest level.
Right.
So if they see someone for real suffering, even just a little bit, or arguing, or just looking bad in any way, they're going to be like, oh, okay, like I am human. Like it's okay. Like, and no, we don't really get a lot of examples of that, you know?
Right.
So that was kind of the whole, that's like the mission.
So you were trying to just show the realness.
I was.
Shit.
I wasn't
that
trying
happens.
to, like
Yeah,
I was.
you were.
Like she would be crying, and I would.
How
be
did she
filming
feel about it?
Well, I would be filming her crying, and then later I wouldn't post it. Like I had to
Yeah.
slowly get her behind the mission, and then she started like, give me that video. And then now she's on board and she's with it. She doesn't give a fuck. She didn't give a fuck. But something just changed recently. The level of hate and like the I don't know. I think there's something happening online, something really weird and toxic, but maybe it will be good in the end. You know how things have to swing all the way over?
Yeah, I
before
also
they come
think that
back?
it's not healthy. Like me as a content creator too, I think as humans, we can only take so much. And I know for me personally, if I'm not in the right headspace when I'm online, shit can come across to me a lot
for
differently
sure.
than when I am in a good headspace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you were going live all the time, right?
Dude, yeah. Every waking.
All the time. How much was it? How
all the
often?
time, bro.
16 hours a day for 6 months.
Holy shit.
So
And
for
this is at
6
the house?
months-
This is just you alone, or
No,
this
this
is
is
at
just
the house?
me.
Okay.
But if I'm at the house, I'll stream too.
Okay.
But I'm not like nobody. Just first of all, nobody is getting filmed
Okay.
who doesn't want to be filmed.
Okay. I was going to ask
Period.
that.
End of discussion. I have some footage of Nick that I'll be posting about something that happened with him in the house. And
Nick is the one that was in the
Like-
he used to pop
like
up on my
everybody signs the thing, you know, when they come in, like that, like they could get filmed or whatever, but like it's optional. Like it's like,
Okay.
a lot of people want to.
Is it part of coming into Graceland? You sign a release form?
for sure.
Okay,
Because,
so they
like,
know what they're getting into.
because
and-
like we might grab like a overhead shot of like dinner and like maybe
Right.
someone's in their back
Right.
of their head is, but no one really. You know what's crazy? In the 5 years I've had Graceland, but no one has really cared about
Filming?
that. Like it's never really a big issue.
Okay.
It's you know
I mean, I'm sure if people have researched your place and know what it is and are trying to come there, they probably know
sometimes
before they even go in there.
Leave and like get like loaded and like just like call and be mad, but then like a lot of those people come back. It's just like it's just crazy, but yeah, what was the where were we? Shit, I feel like
we jumped a little bit. I
lot.
wanted to know
like I have
about
3 different lives.
Yeah.
Totally different lives. You
well,
know
I
what
was
mean?
asking you
3, not just 2. We all have 2,
Yeah.
right? Before and after sobriety. But I have this like band thing and this all these other things. But
right. Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help.
I was asking you what led up to the whole thing on TikTok where everything blew up and you went, you know.
Just getting that extra exposure. Because
Yeah.
now it wasn't just me, it was me and Nick.
Right.
And we were sort of in on it together.
Okay.
And people were like, don't go to Graceland. And people were like, don't take Nick into your house.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Nick?
Nick is just a guy who sort of had been crashing out on TikTok for like
in
years.
like a hotel, yeah.
And he had followers and a lot of haters. And he was, you know what? You want to know who Nick is? Nick is like my online child. He's as open and honest and vulnerable as I am. I don't see anyone else out here really with their ass out looking bad. Like he was, like he just was showing it all.
Yeah.
The cops coming into the hotel room.
Yeah.
I mean, he also like flexes. Like he's got like a crazy physique. He just has a out there personality.
Yeah.
And I just loved him for that right away.
And you guys
I'm like,
just met on TikTok?
yeah, and I'm like, you're my son. He was like, I am your father. It was like a whole thing, and it was beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
And then he came to the house and wrote a bunch of words, and then he left and talked a little shit, but then mostly was talking good. And then he came back again, and we let him back again. And then this last time he left, he's talking shit. Everyone always ends up talking shit. That's just how it goes. I don't know.
And what do you do?
I feel like a lot of people.
It's just kind of part of the sobriety
Yeah.
thing too.
Well, because we work in mental health.
Right.
So the mental health I feel like this needs to be talked about more. It's like, what does that mean? I'll tell you what a few of the characteristics are. Resentment, jealousy, selfishness, impatience. Those are the mental health. Those are like the symptoms of having mental health issues. Right?
Right. Yeah,
Like-
I think it's part of it.
Like angry.
and I think having alcoholism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's really what I
Right.
mean.
And then
What I mean
like-
is alcoholism, because alcoholism, I do believe it's a mental health issue. And 90% some sort of co-occurring thing is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you end up? I wasn't, I know that this whole thing was super
Oh,
public.
so Fly, you know the Island Boys?
Yes.
Fly, me and Fly become
Island
friends. I
Boys.
actually was honored to even know that he knew who I was. It was pretty cool because he's a pretty popular figure, and I actually have a lot of respect for him because he's smart. And I think by and large, he's like a good guy. But like he's young, he doesn't know certain things. So while he introduced me to Nick, and I said, yeah, Nick, you can come to my house as long as you're willing to do this structure. You know, we'll scholarship you. And a lot of people were like, don't let him in. Last time he said that he was SA'd. Was sexually assaulted
by
or
another housemate or
people were like, he's gonna make shit up and he's gonna fuck you in the end and try to hurt you and say that
And these are just people online.
Yeah.
That were just.
and I'm like, you know what?
well, it's like because
I'm like-
online, RJ's not on the.
No.
I don't think he has any idea of anything.
It's really bad.
at
It's
all.
really like ugly.
But it's like
man.
people. So there's probably hundreds of thousands of people that are all enmeshed, that are complete strangers, just all over the world, that are enmeshed in this drama with Graceland, with you, with
the
Nick,
story
with
somehow.
the story,
Yeah.
with the Island Boys, which is this is the
Well,
most
well-
insane random ass lore of a story. I
great.
want to fucking
Isn't it cool?
It's like a fever
Yeah,
dream.
I want to make a little doc on it. It's such a crazy thing that happened, and
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's like, what a random
Well,
fucking, what a
and
random.
here's what I like. This is what I like as a person who just wants to create something original and unique.
Right.
There's never been any kind of live stream like that. They watched him get on the bus. They watched him go all the way across the country.
Yeah.
While me, Jose, and Evan were live streaming 24/7. Once he said he's coming, I'm like, all right, we're not stopping the stream until he gets here.
So where did it get out of
And
hand?
that was like a lot for all of us.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it went from us having a
How long did it take?
3 days.
Wow.
We just didn't stop.
Yeah.
And I woke up and oh my God, we still have 1,000 people in our room. We used to have 200
Right.
people in the room, or 150, or maybe like 3, but it would fluctuate. And now it was like 1, 1.5, 2, 1.7. And I was like, oh, there's all these people in here watching this. Like, this is amazing. Like, and then they're just showering me with money.
Right.
That's really. That's
Oh,
the thing. Well, that's the only reason I was able to do it, bro.
Yeah.
I can't.
Right.
I can't be doing all this. I was making more than I ever made in my life. I mean, look, it was like a couple grand a week.
Yeah.
You know, $5,000 a week on a good. I mean, that was like just for live streaming. That was crazy. I mean, that was like a lot. That was the most I've ever made. 2 amazing individuals who I will be forever grateful for. One woman gave me 30 grand over the course of a couple weeks. It was crazy.
Holy
Another
shit.
woman gave me like 10, and they didn't know really, and they got in trouble with their husbands. It was a whole thing.
What the?
Shut the fuck
And you
up.
want to talk about enabling? Like unknowingly, they were enabling me.
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, not. They
Were
were a
you-
part. No,
okay,
they weren't
wait, hold on,
enabling.
wait.
They were
Were
a
you-
part of the disease that I was in.
Were you
Running it
asking?
with this money?
Were you also asking for gifts on the manipulation side
so
of things?
no. That's what you do. So
Right.
on live, you battle.
Right. Oh, okay. So it was all through the likes and the
Yeah.
that.
So I was winning battles.
Okay.
I was
What
getting
are the battles? What the
So
fuck are
it's
the
battle-
battles?
Wild,
so you and another creator, right? Like say he wants to go with the Island Boys or whatever. I actually battled with the Island Boys a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That you come on and then their followers and your followers and whoever pops up on the battle, like you basically just send as many likes and gifts as
Can
you
I
can.
just like rip this over here?
And it's like
And whoever
counting
gets the
on
most,
beats.
it goes up. There's this little bar that's going up
Shut
to
the
meet
fuck
the
up.
yeah. Yeah, it's
wild,
wild.
bro.
I used to go live. I used to live
Unbelievable.
stream often, but I
Listen,
don't have the
what's happening there. I think they're onto something magical, because your followers get to see you meet someone,
right.
and they get to be a part of
They're
this
there
interaction
with you.
right?
It's
and,
pretty
and-
cool.
and then they can show their love, and then sometimes. But see, here's what always ends up happening is like what there's
Hey,
a
Pat.
million. Well, there's a million quotes, right? It's just easier to hate. It's so easy to laugh. It takes strength to be gentle and kind. That's like my favorite Morrissey lyric.
Yeah.
And there's a million other ones like that where we're all drawn to the darkness, and before you know it, we're arguing. And those are the people that have the ones in their room, the ones that are really the ones that just know how to like it's
Get
like,
to you.
God, it's such a
So are you manic?
it's like hard to explain.
Are you
They
manic
push your
throughout
buttons,
this
bro.
whole-
They push your buttons, and they know how to
they
push
know
them.
exactly.
Well, I put them. All my buttons are on display.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I don't normally care, but like if you're trying to act like you're my boy and you have 1,000 people in your room,
Yeah.
and I have 1,000 people, let's not say that we're a cult,
Mm.
because we're not, dog. You were just there. Sorry.
No,
It's
no,
just
you're
like-
good.
So you'd be on there and be battling over these topics.
So your energy is being drained
Oh,
by
yeah.
meeting new people constantly and asking them to battle. Well, they asked you to battle. A lot of people are inviting me into their room at that point because I have a lot of people in my room. And it's just real ego boost, validation, making money, and then and then the thing is you don't always battle. What you do is you give your fans or your people that are watching, you give them something real and honest. And I was doing that throughout the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, they would see me. I would put the fucking phone right there, and I would feed my baby, put him to sleep, have an argument with my wife in the fucking other room and they're
Mm-hmm.
like listening to every word.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, this is a normal relationship. Let's let them learn in a way they haven't before. Cause I don't care so much about me. I mean, I cared about me for long enough, so I'm over it. But then I'm like putting her on display, and that's not cool.
Right.
But already she sort of had agreed to it, and she was down.
Yeah.
But then
there's probably levels, though.
Dude, once we had the kid, we just had a kid.
Yeah.
That's it. That was it.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have a conversation. I just was motivated, like in the same way my father was, to work super hard. And I had this new revenue stream that was going to like save everything. Because like, dude, it's hard to.
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help.
It's hard when your fucking sober living is Graceland.
Yeah.
And it's structured.
Yeah.
And you don't get your phone. And we go hard. So a lot of people leave. Most people leave, and it's just so fucking hard to keep it, to hold the line. I almost am like, why do you even care anymore? But it's because I'm like not trying to put out an album that's not honest. It's in the same way. I think of it as the same way. I just feel like this is like my, I mean, I actually do have like a couple songs that I will be putting out like as like a joke.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's like an artistic creation.
Yeah.
No,
It's like
we have like a rap diss like to the haters.
Yeah.
And like made a whole video. And then we have this other like punk song. My friend is like really good at writing songs, and he's been writing like the funniest lyrics. And like I can rap, like I can sing. I'm not great, but I have like a cool punk rock raspy voice when I try. And we've just been having fun with it. And I just don't really have any more fucks to give, which is a cool place to be, honestly. It's sort of freeing.
Yeah.
But it's really scary at times too, you know?
So then you reached a certain point and then you went to Florida.
Well, I just was streaming too much.
And were you manic during that the whole Nick thing for like how long?
So what happened was he got to the house.
Right.
And I was like, fuck you.
Okay.
I was like, I was just fucking on one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, because I'm like being fueled. The more I give them, the more they give me. It's crazy. It's like, I don't know. It's like a real process addiction.
Yeah.
That was the real addiction.
Yeah.
Okay. I had been taking CBD for a while already, and my tolerance as an alcoholic, as an addict, obviously it starts to get up there, and I made it last a long time. And then finally towards the end with that streaming, there was this other, the Delta 9 or 8, I don't know which one, but one of those got into it.
Yeah.
And it changed
everything.
I think that with the main, so what happened with everything just combined, it was like, really it was the behavior, you know, and just, I needed to grow up.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I need to be in bed by midnight. You know, I need to have a normal life, and I can't be streaming in the other room all night, even if it is making me money. Like, so that was just, I showed up and all my friends were in the living room.
So they had like an intervention, basically.
Like
who was there?
Was Madison there? Yeah. This fool's like literally my sidekick, bro. He never leaves. Like he was with me when this happened. And Steve, so the rapper in my group's there. Jason Evigan's there. That guy I told you about, that really, really successful musician. He writes songs for, I mean, Physical, Dua Lipa. You know that song? That's a great song.
Yeah.
Let's get physical. You know it?
Yeah.
Like I remember when he showed me that beat, and I was like, yo, this is so cool. Whatever. He was there. My friend Chris Avager was there, the first person I sent to Liberty House. He has 15 years sober now. Jason was there. Steve was there. And this guy walks in, and Steve's, or what happened? What'd they say?
The first thing happens, me and Pat walk in there, and I see this group of his friends.
Well,
I don't know what's happening, but but I'm on his side.
Oh yeah, Blue walks in and goes, I don't know what's happening, but I'm on his side, my side, right? And Steve's like, you're gonna need to leave.
You're gonna find your way out.
And I was like, hold up.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, dude, you don't talk to him like that. You're not gonna raise up. I came in like hot, like I'm like taking over the world. You know what I mean? Like new school, like transparency. Like we're gonna have like, I don't know, just good versus evil. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I in the most fucked up way, I sort of can like relate. I don't even want to say this, but like, I kind of understand like Kanye. I don't know. That sounds crazy. I don't agree with anything he's doing, but I just feel like I just have a high level of empathy for anybody that has to deal with like so much judgment.
Yeah.
So I don't ever, like, I will never judge a single person ever again, nor will I believe what I read about anyone. I'm only going to listen to what comes out of their mouth. What do I want? What's Elon Musk all about? Let me listen to him talk for 3 hours and I'll make a call. What's Joe Rogan's vibe? Well, we get to hear him talk hours and hours at a time every day. What's my vibe, dude? I'm out here. What I'm saying is real. I'm not lie. Why would I lie? I don't understand what people think I could possibly gain by pretending like I'm sober. Like before Graceland, my whole thing was like, I'm sober, but my wife's not.
Yeah.
That's really what was the spark for the TikTok thing. And I'd be like, you're not present. Look at your eyes. They're like, and she would just be like, well, like she's just the cutest thing. It was just a really fun interaction.
Yeah.
Because I'm good. I'm not like, I don't smoke. That's it.
Right.
She gets high and I don't. That's just the way it goes. And it's not a problem. We have a beautiful relationship and that's still the way it is today, you know, and it's fine. But people couldn't wrap their head around. She's a fucking drug addict. He's not sober. And then just you keep it and then you just keep going. And but it was good. That stuff is good. That's how it, really what's happening is we're trying to, we're trying to like bridge the gap between like alcoholics who work this program and know it and just normal people who know nothing about it. That's it.
Right.
And the only way, the most effective way for me or anyone else, I think, to bridge that gap is to show them, like our parents. I'm just going to show you what it is. I'm not going to try to explain it to you, or I'm not going to try to preach to you. I'm just going to show you.
Yeah.
So
okay, so you're at the you walk into your intervention.
Yeah.
And it was on your
and
side.
I was hot.
Yeah.
I was like, I walked right up to Jason Evigan, Grammy award-winning producer. I'm like, what did I say? Well, I was like, I just walked up to him and I was like, yeah, so what's up? Like, I already know why you guys are here. Like, I'm good. Like, why can't you just let me do my thing? Like, I'm helping people. Don't you understand? Because that was another thing I was doing was I was talking to real people for hours all night with 10 other. I would fill my boxes. I would let everyone come up and we would hear from everyone. And I had a mom who lost a kid and I'm like emotional. I don't know what to tell her. She just lost her kid. And then this other woman shares, I just lost my kid. And I'm like, yo, I'm like doing this amazing thing, So I'm like, how dare you question any of this shit? And so what if I'm like going hard? Nothing got built with balance. You think Apple was built with balance? No. This guy's a psychotic and he goes so hard. And the only way to achieve greatness is with imbalance. That's just the truth. If you really want to achieve greatness, ask Michael Jordan, ask Kobe Bryant, ask anyone. Yeah, but I don't really, who wants greatness? I would rather be happy. I feel like, no, I mean, I think all men have this weird thing. It's a fire inside of all men where we want to be great or like, or change, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like,
Okay. So you agree.
Women are like, I want to like, nurture and like do what's most important and like, show up as a mother. And I don't know, my wife is just killing that right now. But what were you going to say? I disagree.
No. So you agree to the intervention?
Oh, with like a lot of like, yeah, we were, it was not easy.
And they took you off social media, right?
Yeah, bro.
You were like removed.
So I just left the next day without my phone. Well, I wasn't like, I mean, I'm not trying to lose my wife and my, in my life over this shit.
Right.
Like I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, can we just do the 2-week one? You know, there was like this one that was like a week, and I was like, it was like a wilderness thing. I was trying to do that one, and then
Okay, wait. So walk us through day 1, day 2, no phone. After having this fucking thing attached to you for fucking how long?
Bro, to be honest with you, it was
yeah.
so I long for that time I spent in Florida. I miss it. I wish that was my life.
What was day 1 like?
Well, day 1 was the treatment center telling me that Patrick Ridge, the sober online personality, cannot be in this place. So you can't be here. So I had to leave.
Really?
Yeah. Because just someone knew who I was and they were afraid for their safety or some shit.
What?
Bro, that's how crazy this shit was. So they said.
So you go to a treatment center.
Yeah.
And then they have you leave.
Yeah. Well, first I spent the night in a room.
Because you're you.
Yeah.
Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help.
Damn.
Is that nuts? Because
Is
no
that
one's
allowed?
ever done this.
Wait. So
no one's ever quite done this, which is
What were they afraid? You were going to live stream in there or something?
I didn't even have
that
my
what
phone.
they-
Public opinion?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have my phone. No one has their phone.
I think it was
Okay.
just probably public opinion.
But I was like, I rolled up and I'm like, yo, the headphones are non-negotiable.
Yeah.
I have my fucking headphones on. I'm in like full blown psychosis and mania. And I'm like, this shit not coming off, dog.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, okay. And I'm like, also my music's on my phone. So what are we going to do about that? And like, they gave me this little shuffle and they searched all my shit. They found like they found a lot of stuff. They found a bunch of CBD.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were going to let me keep it or not.
Yeah.
And they found it and I was like, all right, whatever.
So you weren't trying to get
I was
off
just-
the CBD.
I didn't, I
Yeah.
was still
And you
sort
were
of,
also weren't well
I
in
was
your
still
mind.
just sort of like, yeah, like just CBD.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't know. We didn't really, yeah, I know that we did discuss that. Like, but to be honest, they weren't, it was just more about like no phone, go away, but that shit had to go.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I would have, look, I'm a fucking, if I can sort of skate through or when I'm in that state, I'm going to try.
Right.
You know? So
Right.
it was a forced divine intervention.
So they make you leave. Where do you go? You go to another center?
So they get this guy, Johnny, who's like a gnarly fucking, I went to a condo, bro, with Johnny and every day therapy, one-on-one intensives, which is infinitely better than the group dynamic.
Right. So
And
you
to be
did
honest,
like
bro,
sober companion,
but
therapy,
lots of therapy, and
no phone,
and
totally
meetings,
isolated.
no phone meetings. I saw him speak at the meeting. I saw his wife speak at the meeting. I got to know their family. Like I miss this guy. Like I spent the most important 30 days maybe of my life with this man. It was powerful, and he used to shoot dope in his forehead. He did time. He was showing me Power. That show. Have you seen that?
Yeah. It's a great show.
You would like that show. I just know you would.
Yeah.
50 Cent, Power. This guy's from fucking Brooklyn. He's from Jamaica, Queens, right from where 50 was from, and he's just I'm like, pace, bro. Me at this treatment center is just, I wish someone would have fucking filmed it. You know what? I think Danielle did. Bro, I'm pacing around because I'm not like, I have a sober living. I have another facility. I've been in this business for a couple years. I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Which is not true, but at the same time, I'm not sure me being in a group setting with a bunch of newcomers would have been conducive to what I needed at that time. So I think me being one-on-one with just doing the therapy and stuff and the breath work and the fucking Roki and just, I mean, they were just doing everything. I had this I say breath work and it's like, if you get a good breath work teacher, this guy was from Jamaica and he was like super OG and he like would pick music specifically for me. And I did this whole body map with him and it's like framed on the wall now and just as a reminder. And I just got a lot of intense really looking, drawing a floor plan of my childhood home when I was 8 and when all this traumatic shit happened. And because really what happened was I never really had anyone to listen to me because my parents were too busy fucking fighting and shit. So I just had the whole world listening, and that's all I've ever wanted, and recognizing where that comes from and why I do that. And also the filming as a source of connection. Like I literally realized those things.
That's really
in
interesting.
Florida. Yeah.
That's
and
really interesting.
I came back and I don't get to film my family anymore. Yeah. That's off the table. Right. She let me, she like did like a birthday video where she's like in it for my birthday. It's like, she's like, yeah, it's his birthday, so I'm going to let him film me. So who knows what'll happen? Like,
what if you just filmed and didn't post it?
That
defeats the purpose.
Something's got to get put out.
Yeah.
So you got to create something and then it has to
live.
People have to enjoy it or not enjoy it. There has to be a reaction. It has to live. That's like it living. Like there's too much amazing art out there that is being hidden and suppressed because people are afraid.
Yeah.
They're just, I'm terrified. I'm about to put this it's a rap video and song. We made the beat, we wrote the rap, and I'm so terrified to put this thing out because I'm such a fucking idiot for even doing it in the first place. But on the other hand, I mean, what is it cool or what? Like they love it. So I don't give a fuck. I'm embarrassed, but like, maybe I'll like put that before the video, like this clip right here. Like but it's funny. It's just, I don't know.
This is just who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to be
This
creative.
is who you are. I think that there's one like, you know, I was really excited for you to come on because I really think that what we do here at this podcast, man, is like we get the humanity of people, right? And I think there's a certain level of like what exists online in some circles of what they know of you is not who you are.
Right.
And that's partly my fault.
There is, you put out authentic stuff, but I think that like what you said when we were talking about, I have known, just because I've grown up in the same area.
Yeah.
That this is not new.
Yeah.
This is something that you've done forever.
Right.
I mean, since they had like VHS tapes.
Right. Yeah.
And camcorders, you've been filming, recording, putting out your creative art in any form that looks like, whether that's in a band, making music, fucking showing your life, a fucking sober living, anything.
I'm trying with sober living.
But you are going to be you, which is this.
Yeah.
Always.
But here's the problem with that is the internet, the landscape of the internet and the way people are, the way we are, it's if there's not something extra or exciting or polarizing then it's not going to
get that big.
It doesn't even really get seen. I mean, I'm really lucky that I can pretty much make a video about anything and some people will see it, but I'm more interested in like a lot of people seeing it. So it is tricky. It's hard to, because a lot of the stuff people have seen is either me fighting and they make a judgment right there. But I do think that this has been and will be a social experiment in like transparency. And I think in the end, you know, I mean, this stuff, building like a brand could take 10 years, 5 years, like minimum. So I'm just hoping that like eventually people will see like what it really is, because a lot of people didn't like me at first. A lot of my like favorite people that love me so much, they're like, oh, I just didn't understand that he doesn't switch up at all ever for anyone.
This is just who he is.
This is just, so he's not like putting extra cherries and he's not giving I don't know. He didn't know you. So people in the long run, what it is that I really do like, I don't know. I saw a video the other day about like, we're healers now. because we got sober. And I think we've always sort of been that. If you're able to stay sober for a long period of time and sort of you become like a healer, you have to help people, but that can be a lot to bear if you're not like, if you don't have someone who can help you be more selective. I don't know. It was a really cool video, and I just feel like my wife has been helping me know like when to try to help someone and maybe when to not. It's too much. But I don't know why I just said that. What were you? You were saying, I was saying that like, yeah, you're right. People don't really know the real me because the algorithm doesn't favor the real me. Their algorithm favors the manic me. Yeah. That was pretty fire.
It does. I mean, it's true though. It's true.
You know? Asking for help was one of the greatest choices I've made to overcome my addiction.
If you or a loved one that you know is struggling with addiction, don't hesitate. You can reach out to any of us at any time to find help.
But it also favors the manic Justin Bieber. Look at Bieber.
Oh yeah.
Look at Kanye. Look at these people.
Are always, it's that type of shit, and people's kind of like downfalls and craziness is always going to do better because people thrive off of that shit.
Yeah,
what's the rubbernecking on the freeway?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. It's like a car, you just can't look away from shit like that. And it also, I think when I see people like that, for me, it's not like, oh my God, like I personally, when I saw Justin Bieber, I'm like, oh, relatable.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I relate to that. And he's fucking human. And you see these people that have this image online. For me, I look at that as like relatable. Other people will laugh and judge and do all these other things, but you know.
But have you like seen anything of mine ever that you thought of, or
what do you mean?
Like, what was your first reaction? Have you ever seen anything? Did you have a reaction to seeing me ever?
I think when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit, what's going on at the sober house? You know, I was just like,
and
it drew me in.
I seemed like a normal guy.
Yeah, it didn't
But you haven't seen like me fighting with Veronica and like complaining about like.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
That's where it gets a little tricky.
Right. I think that there's levels, and I think that I'm going to be really honest with you. I think for a healthy mind and a healthy life, especially with your wife and like everything, there's probably got to be some really, you probably got to do some boundaries and, you know, make some negotiations.
I was like ready to just go all in on like raising the kid, what it looked like, sharing nights, just all of it.
Right.
And I kind of was doing that.
But you got to be really careful with kids online too, though.
Yeah. Well, there's
a lot of sick fucking people out there.
Ever.
Yeah, you gotta be. You gotta think about that. And I know, and I think when it's you and yourself, that's different. But when you're involving other people, you just gotta be. You gotta take their.
So that was really the outcome. Like what you're saying right now is pretty much the majority of the reason why I went to Florida and didn't have a phone, because I need to start discerning like what I'm posting, who I'm filming, who's it gonna affect. I didn't ever think about that. Which is why I've been in trouble. I mean,
honestly, it's a blessing now, because now you can look like we all have to sometimes none of us see outside of our own shit. We see our fucking vision and what we want it to be. And sometimes it's hard, especially if we're excited about something, which it sounds like this is something that you're passionate about and you're excited about it. But sometimes we don't look at all the other shit on the outside, you know, until it's too late and some negative stuff happens, you know?
I'm just glad that I had enough humility to take a direction and go and do this thing.
Me too. I'm proud of you.
So I could look back.
Yeah.
And go, yo, like, yeah, you're tripping, bro. Just, you need to chill.
It takes a lot to be able to admit that.
Yeah, but my son is like so cute. Like I see him, like I'm addicted to seeing him. Yeah. Like I go there and I just see him and he just wants me to pick him up. He just always wants me to pick him up. Yeah. And then my arms get tired and I'm just like, here, let's like chill and do something. And then he'll start like vacuuming or cleaning, or he likes to clean. He sees me clean the house. I like OCD clean and vacuum and shit. Yeah. So that's what I was sort of missing, because when you have like hundreds of people right here.
Right.
it's gonna
Yeah.
affect your
Right.
Exactly. And you can't really be present when
Yeah.
you're live streaming, when you're doing that. You're not present in real life fully. You're not.
and that's her whole thing.
Yeah.
So now I am. Now, like, yeah, we watch shows. I go to bed at a decent time.
Hell yeah.
I dip in. I check in on them like a couple times a day if I can. And I have the graduate house right down the street. So there's a bunch of graduates who live there. And that's where we like
Right.
make videos and watch movies and do meetings and the Discord and all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
But like, I feel like, yeah, there was, you guys asked such great questions, and I think
I'm just glad you came on. I told
Me
you
too.
so.
Yeah, anytime.
We
bro.
wanted
Like,
to get, let people know who you are. We
I
wanted
know,
to get
that's
your
so
story.
cool.
We wanted to get your background, and maybe now people will understand you a little better,
just,
you know?
Yeah, I just did the Gobcast. Did you guys see that?
I didn't see
It's
it.
like
no.
kind of a bigger podcast. I think it has like almost 100,000 views. No,
Wow.
2 hours. It's crazy. It's like a real podcast. I mean, not that this isn't, but like I have a podcast too. But I mean, this guy's like entering this like other level, and I was like so excited to do it. But then I see the fucking thumbnail, and it's like fire me with horns. And it says the most hated on TikTok.
Damn.
But like,
they're
whatever.
trying to.
that's
Okay,
like-
but here, here's another.
I'm like, yes, it's doing well, but like, wait, maybe that. And then and then I go in the comment section, bro, and it's like, oh, I know this dude. Fuck him. Or like, I literally.
What is the podcast called?
Oh, it's just the Gobcat. If you just search
Yes.
for Patrick Ridge online on YouTube right now, it's probably gonna. It'll be one of the.
Yeah,
You'll see
yeah.
the flames, bro.
Yeah.
It's like the thumbnail is crazy. Which, like, if I'm being honest, like this is what I've always wanted. My heroes are Andy Kaufman, Fat Mike, even like the one moment of Joaquin Phoenix's career where he trolled the world trying to be a fucking rapper. Did you guys see I'm Still Here? It's fucking incredible. He played this person for 4 years, and I just like the people that I've Oliver Stone, Quentin Tarantino. These are, look, when you make anything and you do anything, you get that has the power to impact people in a profound way. I'm not talking about impacting billions of people in a mediocre, bland way. I'm talking about really trying to get through to people in like I've gotten more out of NoFX than I think any Taylor Swift fans ever gotten out of Taylor. No, I just like, but that's because NoFX has like adversaries, and what they're saying is like, it divides people. It's polarizing, like the election, like all these polarizing topics. We need to learn to just accept each other as different, and
agree.
it's okay,
I agree
dude.
with- Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, what the fuck? So yeah, so all my heroes were hated. So why would I be upset? Because
But you know that it's okay also to be upset about that, because that's not normal. Humans aren't meant to fucking look at something and be hated to that capacity. It's not.
Well, when you start wrestling women, you are, and that's what Andy Kaufman did.
Okay.
Like, these are gnarly individuals, like
Yeah.
Gigi Allen, like real punk rockers that just were like, fuck the system. People thought he was dead. He was not dead. It was like, but other people have done this. Like, even directors like Quentin Tarantino. I mean, when that shit came out with the fucking, there was people that were like, not, my mom walked out of the movie theater. Directors they create stuff that offends people,
Yeah.
but other people love it. It's like a weird thing about humans. But we're still learning. I think we have a
Still
lot
Learning
to
and
learn
growing. Yeah.
You know what, man?
about alcoholism, about mental health. We're still in our infant stages of like understanding
Yeah.
all this stuff, I think, and being able to communicate about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just appreciate that you're you,
thank you so much. Me too.
and that you're you no matter what.
I mean,
Yeah.
I did.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate. That's why I've sent you
thank you.
messages.
Yeah,
and that's like every time I've talked to you, it's like
I'm like so grateful.
you're you,
God,
and you're
thank
you no matter what. And
I'm grateful for God putting you in my life the way He has, because you're like a great guy, and like there's too many people that are afraid. I think they're just afraid. right? And you didn't have any fear. You just were like, whatever, dude, he's a guy. Like, and he hit me up. And so, yeah, that's the way it should be, guys, right? You don't be afraid of people. It's like when we're afraid of a snake, like it's more afraid of us than we are afraid. Like everyone's in fear, you know, like,
sure.
9 times out of 10, that one person that you're like, that you look up to, that you're afraid to reach out to, like 9 times out of 10, they're going to be feeling all the same stuff you feel. And they're just like you know?
Right. For sure.
So yeah, I appreciate that, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks
I
so much
appreciate
for
you coming
coming
on,
out.
Yeah, it was great getting to know you too. Or I mean, look, you guys got to know me. So
you.
thank you. Yeah. And it was great talking to you too. That was, you had some great insights.